It's the way to go. Eat a fig, not a pig. Let your kindness show. If it's your wig or a jig or a swig, do you dig? Big. It's the way to go. It's Big Fat Vegan Radio.
When something's fat, there's a lot to show. It's gotta be fat to help the movement grow. Making fat loud chat that won't be flat. It's fat. And here's our show. It's Big Fat Vegan Radio.
I've just got that vegan glow, like a drag queen calling Patrick Goudreau. I'm a YouTube vegan cooking up good eating. Veganism makes me glow. It's Big Fat Vegan Radio.
All right, vegans, all together now. When something's fat, there's a lot to show. It's gotta be fat to help the movement grow. Making fat loud chat that won't be flat. It's fat.
It's the way to go.
It's Big Fat Vegan Radio.
Hey everyone, welcome to Big Fat Vegan Radio. We're podcasting from New York City
and San Francisco
to discuss veganism in all its glory. I'm here with Laura Yaz, vegan writer and entertainment know-it-all.
And I'm here with Ben Strothman, otherwise known as Honey LeBronx, everyone's favorite vegan drag queen.
You can check us out on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook by searching for Big Fat Vegan Radio.
And you can follow along with our show notes at bigfatveganradio.com.
We have a really special episode for you today. It feels like we haven't done a regular episode in a while.
We haven't.
Yeah.
We
So I'm excited.
skipped a month.
I'm excited to get back to like the regular format here. So
Well, the
hey,
live
Laura.
thing really derailed us.
Yeah, the live thing, and then my hard drive crashing really derailed us, and then taking my hard drive to TechServe today.
Is TechServe the Apple place?
Kind of, but it's more just a snot-nosed little hipster punk.
It's in Chelsea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I've never liked them. They're just so snot-nosed, arrogant, stuck up, and that's exactly how the help was that I got. And they're like, for anything over a terabyte, it starts at $1,300.
Yeah, that's crazy. I
said,
don't know. You can just buy a new computer for that.
I said, look, I'm a shift worker with no health insurance. I don't have this kind of money, and I will never have this kind of money. Now, that's not me using the secret very much, but I said, where else would people go for this sort of thing? He's like, well, his exact words, well, there's that half-assed place that opened next door to us.
Really? The guy said that?
Yes.
Oh,
I go next door to the very friendly Dr. Brendan, and this very friendly girl gave me a real honest like a diagnostic and approach and all of that. And basically, she's like, look, it's $75 for us to take a look at it. If we can recover it, it's either $125 if it's a tier 1 rescue, $250 if it's a tier 2 rescue. Beyond that, we don't do recovery. So only if it's a tier 1 or tier 2 rescue can we do it. And if we
I don't know what any of this means. I don't know anything about these tiers.
Right.
But it sounds affordable anyway.
Basically, if they're able to do it, it'll either be $125 or $250 flat fee, and my $75 deposit will go towards that. If they can't recover it, I get my money back, and I'm on my merry
that's
way.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Still, I don't know. I can't remember where I went. My computer crashed years ago. Years ago. Oh my God, so long ago. And you know what? It's a fuzzy time in my memory. That's what I'm going to say. I wasn't clear on a lot that was happening. But I went somewhere and paid some obscene, I don't even remember. Basically what they did is they just had to wipe it. They were like, we can't save anything, so they just wiped it.
I feel like that's what people will often tell you when they're just assuming nothing on that drive is precious to you. I'm like, no. Before you wipe, could you perhaps try? Like, do you have any elbow grease back there? You know, maybe put in some elbow grease. So, TechServe, go f*** yourselves. Fondly, Ben Strothman.
That's not a callback, though, because we're doing that later.
There is a call forward.
Well, call forwards don't work, my friend.
Call forwards work. What we're doing is called foreshadowing. You're right. It's not a callback. It's foreshadowing.
All right, whatever. It's not going to work.
So,
if anything, it's just going to ruin the joke.
Your mom's going to ruin the joke.
I am a comedian. I mean, I'm retired, but I was a professional.
I'm a comedian too.
I know a thing or two about jokes.
I know a thing or three, actually. So that's more things than you know.
Oh my god, whatever.
What did you have for dinner last night?
Last night, my boss brought me some vegetables and I ate them. Artichoke
That's
hearts,
it?
sweet potatoes. It was like a whole thing. It was like a lentil salad. It was a whole to-go container with like a bunch of different stuff in it. It was good. I mean, I had to stay at work late, so she was like, "Here, eat this food." So I ate it.
Huh.
I don't think I can say on the air where it was from.
Okay.
Do you want to
You're
know?
all right.
Do you want to know?
Not if I have to edit it out. Type it in
All
the
right,
script
then I
for
won't
me.
tell you.
We're gonna make less work for me in the post production. Do you guys know how long the editing process takes me? Like every little.
You know what?
glitch,
It's not fair for you to say that, Ben, because you do things slower than other people.
Sure, I do things slower than a lot of people. It still means they take me a long time, but still a little small thing, like for me to loop around when we misspeak or when we swear or when we whatever.
You guys, it's because Ben is a crazy
it's
perfectionist.
a lot of extra work.
He's a crazy perfectionist. You should see him cook a bowl of pasta. It takes 2 hours.
Basically.
I'm not exaggerating. I sort of wish I was.
Yeah, I wish you were exaggerating. Any questions?
What did
for
you
me?
have? What did you have for dinner last night, Ben?
I never thought you'd ask. Well, I was just starving, so I went out behind the behind the estate, and I ripped a carrot out of the ground, and it still had dirt on it, but I figured it's B12. And I ate that carrot, and I said, "As God is my witness, I will never be hungry again."
Okay, Scarlett O'Hara.
And then I turned around and faced the camera, and I said, "Trim spa, baby." And then I died like Anna Nicole Smith.
I don't know where the Gone with the Wind, like, trash crossover happened, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Well, no, seriously, I don't really think I ate last night. Last night was one of those nights where I came home and then I'm like, oh, I should really get something to eat, but that never ended up happening. So, like, I kind of don't think I had dinner last night. But having just woken up from a 3.5 hour nap, I feel like my dinner last night was what I ate most recently before going to sleep, which would be Loving Hut.
Ooh, I love a good meal from Loving Hut.
I know. I was at Loving Hut running some errands. No, I was not at Loving Hut running some errands. I was out running some errands. And here's the thing. All of my errands were like right in the vicinity of Terry on West 23rd. I had an audition a few blocks from there, and then I had to run to Tech Serve, which was like right past them. And then I had to go to Radio Shirk and drop off my headphones to have them replaced, and a whole bunch of shaking going on. And I was not hungry. I had already had some pancakes that morning in a large like chocolate peanut butter banana smoothie. And I was like, I don't have any room in my stomach. I'm not hungry. It's not mealtime yet. But I know if I waited long enough, it would be. So I'm like literally thinking of things that I can do to like eat up some time so that enough time will go by that I can go to Terry and eat something.
I wouldn't even need to kill the time. I would just...
I would just walk around with a Thai peanut chicken wrap in my hand for an hour and a half until it's time
I like
to
that
eat it.
one. That wasn't like a big go-to for me, but it's good.
Anything with peanut sauce.
Do you have the melt? The chickpea melt? That's like my favorite.
I've had it before. Everything there is good. There's nothing that I've ever had there before that I'm like, don't care for that. You know what I never get?
You don't
so
care
good?
for the chickpea? That you didn't just say that.
No, not what I said. I said I've had it before. I like it. I said there's not a single thing there that I don't care for.
Oh, whew, I agree.
Yeah, my God. But so instead of going to Terry, so Terry is what I did not do. I was walking around doing some shoe shopping, and I had the strangest shaped scratch on my hand, and I don't know what it looks like. An animal with 3 claws on one tiny little paw, like ran over my hand.
Oh,
it
funny.
literally looks like a mouse clawed me.
Maybe a mouse did claw you. Don't you
It's
often
very
have mice in your
possible
apartment?
because the mouse is back. Yep, the mouse.
You gotta name
is
him. It'll
back.
be more fun if you name him.
I named him Henry, but I don't know if this one's Henry.
I like Henry.
I feel like Henry and I had an agreement, and he went away for the sake of our relationship. I'm like, Henry, we can't. This can't
This
work
is somebody
out.
else. This is like Zeke.
It's probably Zeke or Henrietta, his evil female.
Oh, Henrietta. Forgot
alter
about
ego.
her. She's nothing
I think
but
it's just
trouble.
Henry in drag. I think he's come back like, it's not me. It's a different mouse now. Ha! I'm gonna eat these hot dog buns.
I'm Henrietta. I'm Henrietta. I can't think of a funny last name. Damn.
Who names a girl Henrietta? How has
like
this
that name. I like that name.
Why? You're basically
I don't
naming
know.
a girl Henry and putting an
I like
ending
boy
on
names
it.
for girls. I very, very much like boy names for girls. I like Charlie for a girl. I like Elliot for a girl. I like boy names for girls.
Elliot.
Yeah.
How about Kenneth? I mean, can we just go with Kenneth?
For a girl? No.
Why not? It's very masculine.
I don't like that for a girl. I don't like that for
How
a
about
boy either.
James?
Evan. Evan is also a girl's name. Maybe if you cared a little more about women being empowered, you would understand where this desire comes from.
So I went to Loving Hut instead, and I had the veggie teriyaki. I had the teriyaki something or other.
Yeah.
The teriyaki platter. I don't know. Whatever I had, it
sounds
was
good.
real good.
I'm pretty hungry.
And while I was there, the Supreme Master TV thing was on, and I'm not gonna lie. Say it with me, Laura. I'm not gonna lie. They creep me out a little.
It's a little airy. Yeah, it's a little
The
airy.
whole Supreme Master Shanghai.
There's one near me, but it's not a Loving Hut. It's called a Happy Bamboo, but it's Supreme. It's the Supreme Master chain.
Yeah.
So it's basically a Loving Hut, but they don't have the TVs. So I'm quite fond of that.
Yeah.
Location.
See, at this Loving Hut, they have the TVs there, and they're always playing the Supreme Master TV station. And here's the thing: I have a theory. I think the Supreme Master. I think that's just Anna Gasteyer from Saturday Night Live.
Really?
If you look at
That
the
makes
face,
me want
it's
to
the
join
same.
in.
You know how Anna Gasteyer has that one side of her face that's lifted and one's not, kind of like Stockard Channing.
Yeah, sort of.
Like that one eye is nice and round, and then one eye is Asian. The Supreme Master, she has the same thing going on. Like she has one eye that just won't open because it's pulled so tight.
I don't know that I'm with you on this.
Okay. You'll notice it next time you see it.
All
So
right,
I had a
I'll
theory that
keep it
maybe
in
the
mind.
Supreme Master is really just Anna Gasteyer doing a character. If anyone knows
Pretty
who both
funny.
of these people are, you will get
Like
it,
somebody
the
out there
joke.
is vehemently nodding.
Big Gay Allen is like, honey, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. Thank you, Big Gay Allen. I knew I could count on you. You're my only hope, Obi-Wan. So yeah, I went there and it was real good.
Great.
Oh,
Sounds good.
and well, I suppose I could save. I was going to save that for my big fat food section to make some big announcement. But so I already told you, Terry is actually opening. No, I don't think I mentioned this yet. Terry
You
is
didn't?
opening a new location, but
Already
it's like down
opened, right? Opened already.
They've already opened it. It's down in the Wall Street area. They are now located. Give me 1 second because I do want to find this.
Can they mail me a Butterfinger shake?
I don't know if you're gonna like it once it gets there.
I think I'll be fine.
I love that on their website there is now a button that says locations.
Yeah.
Locations.
That's cool.
That's locations with an S, not locations with a Z, because locations with a Z goes Z, not S. So, of course, you can visit Terry in Chelsea at 60 West 23rd Street, but they've now have an open location in the financial district at 100 Maiden Lane. Boom.
Ooh, lovely.
How awesome, right?
Congratulations, Terry.
And also, Loving Hut, which is located on 7th Avenue, somewhere below 29th or 30th, they are opening a new location. And again, I don't care because it's nowhere near me.
Yeah.
But they are now opening soon, 76 Bushwick Avenue in the Brook. Am I pronouncing this right? Brookline? Brooklyn?
That's not even funny. It's just super annoying.
Brooklyn. In Brooklyn, New York.
That's
76
so
Bushwick
unfunny.
Avenue.
I can't even handle it.
I know. See, that's comedy. That's called comedy.
No, I'm like I'm like a bleached, dry bone in the sun. That's how unfunny I found that.
Oh, nice. Interesting. So,
I can't believe there's a Loving Hut in Brooklyn. That's exciting.
yeah, I know. I mean, it's not just exciting to me because there's one more location. It's exciting to me because, as I understand it, Loving Hut, I forget which country originally Loving Hut comes from.
Oh, I don't know
Some
either.
Asian country where Loving Hut there is almost like, I don't know, I don't want to misspeak, but it's almost like
Subway or something?
I was going to say Subway. Like they're everywhere. And we only have one of them in New York. So the fact that there's now another one, it gives me hope that maybe soon they'll start popping up all around town.
They're all around town would be great for New York, but Loving Hut is one of the few places you can really lean on when you're traveling. There are a lot of places.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, they're out there.
Yeah.
You can really lean on that Loving Hut. You can usually find one.
Okay, stop yelling at me, first of all.
Am I yelling?
No, I'm kidding. That's a joke that Caldwell will always say. Like, you'll be like, "Oh, hi, how are you?" He's like, "Don't yell at me, okay? Just don't." First off, don't yell at me. So
I gotta tell you, that kind of hit a nerve with me though, because here's the thing: I speak at a high volume,
okay,
which you're aware of, and I'm sure our listeners have gotten a glimpse. And when I was younger, I mean, it still happens from time to time, but when I was younger and, maybe a little excited about something,
yeah,
I was talking to a friend, I would get worked up. A lot of times people would say this, they'd be like, "Hey, I'm right here."
ah,
And I can't tell you what a hot button that is for me. Like, it makes me so self-conscious and, like, mad at whoever said it to me. Like, I'm so offended by it.
Are we fighting?
It's crazy.
Are we fighting now?
What? No, we're not fighting. But you saying stop yelling at me, it's like,
Yeah.
it walks a line.
Oh well.
Although I'm glad you were just joking.
Caldwell is. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm moving around. It's that hour where I have to shift how I'm sitting. Caldwell is.
Don't worry, all the listeners are used to it by this point.
Yeah. No, they're not, because honestly, I turn your mic down a little bit. Caldwell is one of those who has a really loud speaking voice, and he'll be like I have a little teeny tiny bedroom. Whatever you're picturing as my teeny tiny bedroom, cut that in half and then in half again, and that's my bedroom. And then
it's not really a bedroom, people.
It's really more of a really luxe coffin, without a lid. So it's like a living coffin. But Caldwell will be like sitting next to me in my bed and talking, and he has this voice that just sounds like a sharp pencil going through my head.
He projects.
The worst is when I'm sick. And he'll be like keeping me company, and I have a headache to begin with, and he'll be like, and I'm like, oh, please, anything but soothing. But anyway, there's two jokes of Caldwell's that I have tried that have not worked for me. First of all, there's something that apparently black women say, like if you tell them like, oh, you gotta hang on a second, or like, oh yeah, you gotta sign on the dotted line, or oh, you gotta just do whatever. Where they'll say to you, I ain't got to do nothing but stay black and die. That's a saying.
Well,
it's a thing that
I'm glad to say that I've never heard that. I've never been on the receiving end.
Well, it's a black
line.
thing you wouldn't understand. So I got to my studio one day, and the person's like handing me the paperwork. Like, oh yeah, you just got to wait a second. You just got to sign whatever. And I said, I ain't got to do nothing but stay white and die. Silence. Silence. Just silence. And I was like, yeah, that really doesn't work for me. That really did not work. The one thing that did not do was work.
Oh my God, that doesn't really translate well.
It just doesn't. It doesn't. It's a black thing. You wouldn't understand. But then the other thing that I did today at TextServe, so I take my number. I'm waiting for them to call my number, 00s. I felt like I was in Vegas. And the guy who was helping me, he had like the tunnels in his ears, and he had like this choppy, weird haircut. And it looked like his two hobbies in life were A, being a hipster, and B, no, he looked like he thinks he's too cool for hipsters, but to me, he still looks like a hipster. And B, not finding anything funny was his biggest hobby. You know, he is most happy.
Oh, well, those people can just die as far as I'm concerned.
Well, they
the hipster thing I'm touch or go on. I'm not as offended by the hipsterness as a lot of people are, but if you are humorless,
he's
get
humorless.
Get off planet Earth.
Which is
I don't
awesome
want you to
because
be alive.
apparently
Thank you.
Apparently, he's just more in touch with all the pain and suffering in the world from every moment to every passing moment of the day where I dare to have a moment of levity. But anyway, I'm waiting for him to call my number. And when he does, he's like, 00? Who has 00? And I was like, please don't yell at me. All right? And he's like, well, I'm not yelling. I'm just trying to make sure that people hear me, but that I'm not loud enough that I'm being too loud, but I want to be loud enough that they hear me. And I'm like, oh, shit. He doesn't realize that I was being funny.
Yeah, also, Ben, the timing of that is really, really not good. If someone's calling out a number for people who are cranky waiting with their computers.
Not about the timing. It's about the delivery. Caldwell showed me when I got home how he would have done it. We did some role play, and he made it funny.
I'm just telling you the timing also wasn't great. That's not great timing.
Not the timing of the scenario in which I did it. It was the timing with which I said it.
Why are you arguing with me so much? I'm telling you, I don't think that's a great situation to use that line in.
And I'm telling you, I'm not going. No, I'm telling you, Caldwell showed me how he would do it in the same situation, the same exact setup, and his was funny. It was in his delivery. His delivery was better.
But you can't imagine what it would actually be like in the store. I bet that guy would still not get it that Caldwell was joking.
Well, sure, but the way I knew he didn't get it is when I said, "Oh no, I'm sorry, that didn't work. I was trying to be funny. It's this thing I say." And he's like, "Yeah, well, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm being loud enough to." And I'm like, "No, he's still explaining why he just called the number out the way he did, which is making me so uncomfortable because he so clearly didn't get that it was a joke."
I don't think he would have gotten it from anybody, my friend.
From that point on, I was just on the defensive. I was trying to with my body language, with my speech, I was trying to make sure that he knows I'm not an asshole. But here's the thing. Secretly, I'm pretty sure I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm telling you, I don't think he would have gotten that joke from anybody. Not in that scenario.
Well, all right. Yeah, this guy was just humorless.
I mean, come on, it's a waiting room and everybody's cranky with their broken computers.
Yeah.
You can't make that kind of joke. Because people are really acting like that there.
I guess I'll go back tomorrow when he calls my number. I'll be like, "So, Doc, is it cancer? Huh? Get it? Cancer?"
Well, I think that's funny, but I don't.
Cancer.
You know, I emceed this cancer fundraiser once, and I made a joke about cancer. It didn't go well.
No!
What am I supposed to do? It's a cancer show.
Please tell me you're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
What were you like? These contestants are all backstage just ripping their hair out. I guess they're not.
Nobody there had cancer. People were raising money for cancer.
Yeah.
I thought it was a perfectly appropriate whatever. It bombed.
They didn't.
It bombed.
Apparently they didn't. So,
excuse me, it didn't even bomb. The bomb didn't even go off. It was awful.
Well, then I started singing to him, "I dropped a bomb on you, baby."
I'm pretty sure I did introduce the band after that.
And then he's like, "Why are you singing at me and pelvic thrusting at me and shimmying a little?" And he didn't understand. That's just how I do. That's how I'm that vegan. I am just that vegan. So, hisses and purrs. Here we go. Who's hissing first? Who's purring first?
It is about time, people. I don't know about you, but I am dead bored.
Okay. What? With your hissing and purring?
No, up till now. I stopped listening to the episode. Did you?
I'm pretty sure this has been an exciting episode so far. They got stories. They got lessons in comedy. And we even talked about cancer. So whoever is out there dealing with the news that your mom now has cancer, you're welcome. Because we brought some lightness to the situation.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure we did. I'm pretty sure we just lightened up cancer for everyone.
Whew.
So let's start with a hiss. No. I like starting with the purr so that we end
hiss
with the
sandwich.
Purr. The hiss sandwich, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, Laura, do you want to purr first?
I would love to purr.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right, so I am purring about this lawsuit that I love, which is basically that. Let's see. Sorry, I want to say it right, so I'm looking at my article here. Okay, It's a consumer class action lawsuit in New Jersey, trying to bring a little truth to labeling when it comes to the humane treatment of animals. The lawsuit alleges that Perdue Farms Incorporated, I'm sure everybody knows Perdue Chicken, right? Very famous, very big company, very big,
I think
very
I've
common
heard
name.
of them. Pretty sure
Very
I've heard
common
of them
name.
once, twice.
They have misled customers by advertising its Harvest Land brand of chicken as humane. Wow! Isn't that exciting?
I mean, what's humane about it? Is it still a live chicken when they give it to you?
No, that's what they're doing. They're suing them for labeling it as humane. It's exciting! Get excited!
Oh, I am excited. I'm a bit more fed up than excited because honestly,
all right. Well, you take your complacency. I'm gonna this is right from the article. Okay, the main thrust of the lawsuit is what? Did you say something?
Huh? No, I said nothing.
Oh my God. Okay. Sorry, everyone.
No, and to be fair, I actually opened up my mouth and said the word nothing. And then when you asked what did I say, I said no, I said nothing.
I thought I heard something. Don't get mad at me.
Tell me I'm not funny. No,
are
seriously.
Are you really hurt that I said you
BigFatVeganRadio@gmail.com. Write us and tell me, Ben, you're not funny.
Are you hurt that I said that?
No, I was kidding. I was just kidding. Keep going.
Oh, because I wasn't saying it was you. I was saying it was this. That's exactly what I was saying.
You don't have to yell at me. I'm right here, okay? I'm right here.
See, that was perfect. That was perfect timing. That was perfect.
Well, thanks for explaining timing to me as well, because I'm not.
See, that worked beautifully.
Keep going.
That worked beautifully. It's not that you're not funny. It's not you.
I couldn't be more with you.
I was just blaming the contents of the situation.
Well, since we've stopped so abruptly, the only comment I was going to try to make was that my skepticism here is not. I mean, this is wonderful news, but it just irks me that that's all you have to do is stamp the word humane on something. That's all you have to do.
Yeah,
you know, I think back to my ex-boyfriend. And, he used to be a vegetarian, now he's not. But he was the kind of guy, he made sure that he bought the cage-free eggs. Any term that they would market it with, he would make sure, oh, nope, I only buy cage-free, I only buy cage-free. And you could see that he felt really good about that. But he wasn't so legitimately concerned that he actually ever looked into what that meant. To be fair, neither was I back then when I was still in denial, basically. But yeah, I mean, this is all you have to do. People are not looking to do the research themselves. They're looking to have their guilt assuaged, you know? And so just put the word humane on it and no one's going to question. Brilliant move, Perdue. That's all you had to do.
No, it's true. And it's really, I think it's really interesting because I always say that. I always say it's false advertising and they're trying to sell us something that doesn't exist. And that's basically what these consumers have stepped up and they're protesting. And it falls under the New Jersey Consumer Fraud Act. So, I mean, it's specific to the state of New Jersey. But anyway, I just want to read this little part of the article because it's great. Okay. Yeah. The main thrust of the lawsuit is that, contrary to the claim that birds are humanely raised during slaughtering, Harvest Land's chickens are shackled by their legs upside down while fully conscious, electrically shocked before being effectively rendered unconscious, cut ineffectively or partially while fully conscious, drowned / scalded while conscious, and that when they are being raised, they are stored in trucks for hours under excessive temperatures, subject to lighting conditions which result in eye disorders, injured in the process of being removed from their shells, subject to health problems and deformities due to selective breeding, and provided no veterinary care.
You know what? What is even better than this is the comments. Have you read the comment? The single comment?
There's only one comment on the article?
May I please read it?
Sure, I haven't read it.
First off, I love that it's submitted by anonymous, not verified, which I'm guessing anonymous, not verified is not his given name. But this comment was today at 12:30 p.m. This is almost the 12-hour anniversary of this comment. Subject, this is just animal rights. He responds, and I'm sure this is his exact speaking voice. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be insensitive. This is just animal rights cult mentality, whereby they want to take away your right to eat meat totally, and for now, drive up the cost to the point that you cannot afford to eat meat. This is dangerous to all human beings, as meat is needed for active vitamin B12, which helps your brain develop and to think rationally. Lack of vitamin B12, the active kind found only in meat products, causes irrational thinking and overly emotional response to situations is dangerous for all human beings. You only get inactive vitamin B12 from a few plants and bacteria, and this inactive kind does not work in the human body. You need to know that 16 infants from vegan parents have died, even though these parents were told their children needed meat protein. These children starved to death. Their extreme vegan parents would not feed them any protein-based foods based upon the PETA and HSUS guidelines. This is a war they are imposing on all Americans, and their goal is the elimination of our food source.
Wow. I had not read that comment.
Thank you.
Yeah, my jaw is on the floor.
Thank you, Anonymous Not Verified. You are a real, can I just say scholar? You are a real scholar.
I just want to reply with how many infants have died from omnivore parents.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to say
It's like millions.
If you're saying that, why are we even talking about this? If you're saying that like vegan babies die because you can't be vegan, like, do you know how many vegan parents have had children who are vegan and they're raised and they're fucking stronger than your meat-eating wimpy-ass kids with type 2 diabetes at age 6? Anyway, I'm done.
Anyway, let me just point out one more thing that's exciting that's coming up in this lawsuit, which I'm very excited about, is that let's see. Here it is. Okay, this is the quote I want to read. Perdue's humane claim is based on standards not meaningfully different from these industry-derived standards. Ah! That's so exciting! Sorry. So I think it's like, that's one of the things I always say. People always ask me, oh, what about the cage-free? What about this? And my whole point is that it's not any different. That's the point. The point is that they're just trying to sell you product and they're not actually doing anything any differently. So anyway, it's just a lawsuit in New Jersey, but I think it's very exciting. And the best news is that there was a motion to dismiss and it has been denied. So I'm very excited to see what happens. I'm going to follow it. I'm stoked.
I mean, I feel like if anyone actually not even took a fine-tooth comb or a magnifying glass, but if anyone just took an honest look, I mean, take your pick where you want to start in the animal agriculture industry. I mean, if we were just actually going to enforce the laws that already exist, I mean, it would do away with so much of the practicing that's going on.
It's true, but it's exciting. This is exciting because it's getting attention because it's under this different act, this Consumer Fraud Act, which is great because it's going to get approached. Exciting. It's going to get approached at from a different angle, which is the angle it needs to be approached from.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm excited. So HSUS and all of you consumers that are part of this class action suit, you are making me purr.
So I guess I will follow that with a hiss.
Do it.
All right.
I'm so excited about your hiss.
Oh yeah, this is quite a hiss.
It's a good hiss, you guys. It's so good.
Laura, I have to say, talking about your callbacks, you know, we had a disagreement a few episodes ago about faux fur, you know, and this was exactly my concern. You know, as the concern that I raised was a lot of faux fur is actually real fur being marketed as faux, and I don't know whether you believed me at the time, but here's some evidence that this is actually happening.
No, of course I believed you at the time. I mean, not that I didn't believe you because I hadn't heard of it, but then yeah, I mean, that's how I found all that other stuff about it. But I stand by liking faux fur. I do.
Well, I mean, it was one of those things where I knew that this happens, but it's kind of like, when I remember something from my childhood, but then as an adult, I'm like, no, I couldn't be remembering that correctly. I must have been misinformed because I don't have any notes in front of me or anything to verify or back it up. Well, as much as I believed that a lot of fake fur is actually real fur, because think about it, it's just so much easier to just rip the real thing off of a dead animal than to come up with a realistic synthetic.
Yeah, I don't agree with that statement. You said that before, too. I don't agree with that. It can't be easier.
Honestly, I do think there are a lot of facts and numbers that back that up. Again, I don't have them in front of me.
Sure, I just can't imagine that. I don't know. I can't imagine it being easier from a production standpoint.
Maybe one of these days we'll have Mr. Joshua Catcher on our show as a guest. Joshua Catcher, if you're listening, maybe you can come settle this score and return peace to Hyrule.
Pretty sure he's not listening.
Pretty sure he's not listening. Yeah, I don't think so. I saw him at a party, and I mentioned our podcast and how it might be nice to like get a discount code from him one day. And I'm pretty sure that the look on his face was like, "Who are you again?"
Yeah, that's hilarious.
No, I'm kidding. He knew who I was, but I don't know that he's heard of our podcast.
No, I mean, look, maybe you're right. It's just that in my imagination, when I imagine, like a faux being produced or actually having to get fur, I just feel like, how is it easier? They both, I don't know. It doesn't seem easier in my imagination. Well, I don't know.
This would be an interesting area for us to explore then, as I have just as many questions.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I don't know much about it. Just imagining things.
At any rate, it turns out that Marc Jacobs, the fashion line, was marketing a line of faux fur jackets. And as it turns out, those faux fur jackets also contain dog fur. Apparently, the jackets apparently they are made with the fur of Chinese raccoon dogs. It's a very soft breed of dog that looks like a fox. And just like they said the fur of these dogs is way cheaper than synthetic fur, which might be the reason behind its use.
Yeah. Which is, I've heard that, I mean, that was this is from HSUS, right? They uncovered this?
I don't know Society. Who uncovered it.
It says it right here. It says Humane Society. So the answer is yes. Sorry to answer my own question. But they are the ones that uncovered this a few years ago when there was another big problem with this. And it was the same thing. It was the raccoon dog. So that's the exact same animal that is often the one that ends up being in your coat.
And I'm looking at a picture of this dog, and it does not look like anyone's domestic pet house dog. So I don't think people care as much because it doesn't look like Fido, First
no, it looks like a raccoon, yeah.
I don't think anyone in history has ever named a dog Fido. I've never heard of it. Everyone names their dog Maxwell. Mom, sorry if you're listening, you too. Everyone names
your mom's dog named Maxwell?
Yes.
My mom's dog's name is Lucky.
A friend of mine one day, he bought a dog or adopted a dog or however he got it. And he was so happy and he kept showing me pictures of these dogs. I'm like, you are as gay as Christmas right now. Because like one of these teeny little like pocket-sized teacup little... And I was like, oh, what's his name? He's like, Maxwell. I don't know. I just looked at him and he looked back at me and it's as if he was just telling me his name is Maxwell. I want to be named Maxwell. I don't know. It just seems to fit. I'm like, yeah, it's the name that fits any dog for some reason.
Actually, it could be a girl dog. I was going to say, not a female dog, but that's not the case.
Are you going to name your firstborn Maxwell now if she's a girl?
Jessica Simpson named her daughter Maxwell.
Well, all right, there you go. Maxwell.
I don't think I'm going to name my daughter the same name as Jessica Simpson's daughter.
Did she really name her daughter Maxwell?
Yeah, I'm not making it up.
All right. Well, yeah, this is an article that was posted. I mean, this article was posted everywhere, but I saw this article as posted in Gawker. And what I love about the Gawker article is they give you a real life scenario that you can sort of play out with your friends. And I'm going to take the part of. Do you want to take the part, Laura, of the jacket wearer or the? Okay.
Yes.
So here we go. I'm going to read this.
I've already cast myself.
I don't know if you've ever been to a staged reading, but there's the guy that reads the stage directions. So I'll do him and then the person not wearing the jacket. So that's not a big deal, right? It's like the horse meat thing. Everyone's eaten some horse meat. Everyone's accidentally worn some dogs. And here is the scenario that plays out.
Do Do you like this jacket? It's faux fur. I love it. It's so warm.
Oh, miss, there's actually, it's part faux fur, but also with some fur. There's some fur from dogs in it.
But it's still faux, right? It's fake fur? I want a fake fur jacket. This says fake fur.
There is some dog in it, an amount of dog.
Is it all dog?
No. Well, it's not part of the dog fur line. So I think legally it can only contain up to 70% dog, or what we in the industry call a ton of dog skin.
My God, I'll never shop at a Century 21 department store again.
Oh no, this is the Century 21 Real Estate LLC.
Isn't it kind of weird that you have the same name? Like, there's a reason no one's tried to open a Nordstrom's Realty, right?
No, it's perfectly normal. We sell real estate and dog jackets. There you have it. Boom. Big Fat Vegan
That's
Skit.
pretty
Big Fat Vegan Skit.
Acting.
An old-timey radio show.
Acting.
So
I feel
there's
like we need
that.
a little sound effect of a door.
Who's this coming in?
Hello.
So, Mark Jacobs, suffice it to say, you are making me hiss
Sit on it, Mark Jacobs.
and throw up in my mouth a little. No, I'm not even going to let Mark Jacobs sit on it.
You could sit on something uncomfortable.
Though Mark Jacobs is kind of hot.
Okay, see, for me, sit on it doesn't mean what you're making it mean. I feel
Oh, yeah.
I feel warm. I don't like it.
You feel warm, did you say? Is this a bad kind of warmth? Like in the middle of the night when you feel warm liquid?
No,
I have to learn something.
Sit on it. Sit on it never meant penis to me. Never.
It's an invitation. It's an invitation I hear all the time. I have to learn that when I have that dream where I'm taking a leak and it really feels good, I've got to learn to wake up in the middle of that dream. I've got to learn, like, no, this isn't a dream. Abort, 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 abort.
That's really funny. I have a skylight in my room, right?
You have?
And so when it rains, it's very loud at night.
Right?
Oh, I
it's
bet.
Like,
and I will wake up needing to pee like nobody's business. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'll be like, it's an emergency. It's raining.
I was a childhood bedwetter until the age of 29. So I still have those moments where I'm awake and I go to pee and I'm like at a urinal or a urinal, if you're a UK listener, and I'm peeing, but I'm kind of like looking around me like, wait a minute, this is real, right? This is really happening? Because I've been fooled before by a realistic dream. And
That's really funny.
I can't exactly pinch myself. Well, I kind of can pinch myself in the middle of pee. Well, never mind. And like I'll be peeing and I'm like, this feels too good to be true. This feels too good to be true. Please don't suddenly wake up and realize I'm in my bed.
I'm really sad that's an honest concern of yours.
It's an honest concern of mine.
Well, how long has it been?
What?
Since you went to bed.
No, we're not going there. Oh my God, this is getting too real.
Oh!
No, it's been a long, long time. But as you can imagine with my bevy of sleep problems, sometimes I will just sleep so heavily.
You guys,
like,
Ben
nah,
and sleeping. You guys.
Yeah.
We've got to start like some kind of like Kickstarter to get Ben on a normal sleep schedule.
Nah.
Look at you. You don't even care. You're like, fuck
I
it.
don't care. I've put off caring about that till I'm 40. When I'm in my 40s, I just figure it's all going to even out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Moving on.
Moving on. Thank you.
Away from Ben's incredibly personal.
Away from my incontinence. Away from my public incontinence.
I mean, way to air it out, man. I'm proud of you.
Oh, I can't wait for your hiss. Oh, I can't wait for this hiss.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna reel it in a bit.
Old news at this point.
To your dismay, Ben. Yeah, it is old news, but I thought it was important that we address it. Officially, we did sort of address it in the parody song at the end of
We
our
sure did.
most recent spring fundraiser.
But the whole world has been eyeballing Big Fat Vegan Radio, awaiting some sort of a statement from us on the issue.
Probably.
So,
That's probably true.
Yeah.
So here it is. Alexandra Jamieson is a big baby.
Mm-hmm.
She is a big, whiny baby. And
Notice we're not saying a big vegan baby.
You know what? If you haven't heard yet about this whole scandal, I envy you, and I apologize because we're about to burst your bubble.
Mm-hmm.
But Alexandra Jamieson is no longer vegan. She posted it on her blog, this big "I'm not vegan anymore" article that she wrote or whatever, blog entry.
Can we back it up just a little bit? Can I interrupt for just 1 second?
Yeah.
I'm sure most of our listeners are thinking, who the hell is Alexandra Jamieson? I've never heard of her.
I know. Oh my God, I know. So Alexandra Jamieson, just in case you don't know, guys. I cannot even say her name without rolling my eyes. It hurts.
I know.
So the movie Super Size Me, which I'm sure pretty much everybody has either heard of or seen at this point. It's got to be like 10 years old now. And great documentary about McDonald's. Was very high profile. Anyway, in that movie, Morgan Spurlock, who is the man who undertakes the McDonald's month-long challenge, and the filmmaker, his girlfriend that he lives with is a vegan chef, and which is kind of like hilarious. And
which, by the way, the McDonald's challenge, it's not an official challenge offered by McDonald's. They're not inviting you to take the McDonald's
everybody knows
this
what Super Size Me is. We don't have to explain Super Size Me.
Exactly.
Everybody knows.
You have to explain Alexandra Jamieson. So
if you don't know what Super Size Me is, you're very young, and go on Netflix and watch it. It's excellent. But yeah, so anyway, that's who Alexandra Jamieson is. And in the movie, there's at the end, whatever, she basically did a diet plan for her boyfriend, a vegan diet plan to help him sort of detox from eating so much McDonald's food. And a lot of people wanted that diet. So they wanted to know the food plan that she put him on. So she ended up publishing a book, great book, I think, which is called The Great American Detox. And it's a vegan food plan. And then also she wrote Veganism for Dummies. Oh my God. I'm so mad that she wrote that book. She also wrote Vegan Cooking for Dummies. So the fact that she is no longer vegan and felt the need to tell everybody about it sucks. And basically the only information we have is what she gave us, right? Which is what she wrote. And based on what she gave us, there's no real reason other than she wanted to.
Right.
And
she doesn't back it up with science, blood tests.
It's not like a doctor. She didn't see a doctor. Nothing. If she saw a doctor, she doesn't talk about it. She didn't tell anybody about it. There's a long list of things we could say. And I also encourage everyone to go listen to... Red Radio did an entire episode on this with me and Chloe Jo Davis from Girly Girl Army and Sarah Brown from Queer Vegan Food. And it was really fun for me.
Yeah,
but
it was
we
a
talk
great
about
episode. It was
Thanks, Ben.
was riveting.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, the feedback I've gotten is like totally awesome. And we talk about a lot of different things, and there's just a lot to talk about. It makes people think, this whole people quitting being vegan thing, but there's just something to be said for how lame it is that she basically is just being a big baby and doesn't want to be vegan anymore and wants everybody's approval, basically, is this blog post. So anyway, we'll link to it if you care to vomit today. Whatever, it sucks. It sucks. I don't know what else to say about it. Ben, do you have anything you want to say?
No, yeah, I don't want to rip on her personally or anything,
it sucks. It's disappointing. It makes me mad at her.
And it's irresponsible. It's very irresponsible and reckless, because here's the thing. She's trying to make this big statement under the guise of wanting to give people all the facts, but what she's basically doing is opening Pandora's box and giving people permission to basically make their own rules based on no kind of science, based on no kind of medicine, Just like if basically it's just hedonism. She's like, if it feels good, do it. So you know what? After this podcast, I'm gonna go and screw the entire neighborhood. And then when I work my shift on Saturday night at Lucky Cheng's, I'm not going to tip out the bar. I'm not going to tip out the busboys. I'm not going to give my money to the house. I'm just going to walk with a fistful of cash because it feels good.
Yeah, I should not do whatever I want to.
And also,
it's a scary prospect.
We ran into her at the Vegucated premiere about a year
We did.
ago.
Oh, I remember. You were so excited.
Was it a year ago? Was it more than a year ago? I feel like it was more than a year ago.
It was more.
And I had just launched the Vegan Drag Queen cooking show, and I saw her outside, and I was like, oh my God, that's Alexandra Jamieson.
I know. I remember. Well, Ben turned to me. He goes, "Oh my God, that's Alexandra Jamieson. I have to go find." And he ran her down.
And I was gonna just, I was just like, no, I'll let her go. I don't want to bother her, whatever. And then I ran outside. I'm like, just go for it. I went outside, and I'm like, Alexandra, hey, we've met before, or we've written before on Facebook. My name's Ben. I'm Honey LeBronx, the Vegan Drag Queen. And she was like, oh my God, you're the vegan. Oh my God, I love you. I'm a fan of yours. And I'm like, no, the other way around. I'm a fan of yours, blah, blah, blah. But which I really meant. I was a fan of the movie Super Size Me. Anyway, it's the same thing, isn't it? I was, and I don't remember if I asked her or if she invited herself, but she could not wait to tell me that she would love to be a guest on my cooking show. So officially, she was going to be the first guest on the Vegan Drag Queen.
I know, I remember.
Yeah, and now I'm like, ooh, I dodged a bullet. I'm so happy.
Yeah, you did dodge a bullet. Thank God she never did the show.
Yeah.
So, all I have to say to you, Alexandra Jamieson, is that you are making me hiss. You jerk.
I would like to close with a purr. This is very good news.
Ben, what are you purring about?
I am purring about, and in my mind, I don't even imagine that it's a bunch of vegans or animal rights activists making this law. It's just the European Union doing this because I guess they feel it needs to be done. The European Union bans cosmetics with animal-tested ingredients. So let me walk you through it. This is very recent, as of about, by the time you're listening to this, this is about a month old. Basically, in 2004, the European Union banned animal testing of finished cosmetic products. So let's say L'Oreal makes a lipstick. You cannot test that finished lipstick on animals. 4 years later, they introduced a second ban on animal tested ingredient. So now not only can the finished product not be tested on animals, but it can't include any ingredients that were tested on animals.
It can't contain any ingredients.
Right. It can't contain any ingredients.
That's so expansive.
Well, exactly. But that's wonderful. That's wonderful. That ban went in around 2008. However, because of a lot of lobbying from, of course, the manufacturers, they got all these extended deadlines and these loopholes and all this wiggle room for some tests for effects like allergies or cancer, basically for some testing where there is no other way to do it other than testing on animals. Well, hey, we got to test to make sure there's no allergic reactions from this, body spray. Or we have to test and make sure that this eyeshadow doesn't cause cancer, and there's no way to do it other than to test on animals. So in 2008, they were like, okay, fine. If there's no other way to do it, you can test on animals. Well, as of March 2013, they basically said, so no more extension. So I don't care if there's no other way to do it. You can no longer test. You can no longer test on animals. Any finished products, any ingredients, etc. No more animal testing.
Pretty great.
Yeah. I mean, these companies are scrambling to find a way around it and to figure out what they're going to have to do. Some people in Europe, they won't have access to certain products because they won't be able to buy them. While they'll still maybe send them to other markets like China that don't have any ban on animal testing, etc. But
China requires animal testing.
Yeah, exactly, which is just disgusting. But
it's
but
crazy.
yeah, I mean, I think it's really exciting, and moreover, I just wonder where these kind of regulations are coming from. Like, I don't imagine that, like, the great HSUS in the sky, or the grassroots activists managed to infiltrate the European Union. It just seems to me like they just want a cleaner way of doing things. And they just decided to weigh in on the issue and.
Well, it's one of those things. It's just like it's not, but I think it's not behind the curtain in Europe the way it is here. I think if you, I think if you stopped a random person on the street and said, "How often do you think cosmetics and cleaning companies, etc., how often do you think they test on animals?" I bet you a huge percentage of people would be like, "Oh, they don't, do they?" I bet you a huge percentage of people live in a land where that doesn't happen in their brain. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't think that happens.
But also in in Europe and in wherever else in the world outside of America, like products that, I mean, this, I'm making a sweeping generalization, but products that aren't good for you, like, are basically not allowed. Like I'm not saying you can't still buy sugary snack foods and things that are awful for you, and you can still go to McDonald's anywhere in the world. But like, what is it? Like, there's certain like every now and then, like, British people will come to the States. I don't know if you know this, but now and then British people will just come to America, and they'll see like a Glade. Someone like once saw a Glade plug-in, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "It's a Glade plug-in," and I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "You can't get those in Europe." And I'm like, "Well, why not?" They're like, "Do you understand what that is? Like, what chemicals are in there?" And then it's just pumping them out into the room for you to breathe them in. And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, well, people know, but we don't care." But they're like, "No, in our country, that's just not allowed. They won't let you do that to yourself, But last thing I want to say about this, the European ban, is that necessity is the mother of invention. And so long as you can use animals, you're going to use animals. But now that they absolutely cannot, I bet you they will find a way around it real quick. In vitro testing, Petri,
they'll
whatever.
try.
Yeah. So there's that. In vitro meat. They'll get some in vitro meat and they'll try to give it cancer with lipstick. Boom.
I'm okay with in vitro meat.
The European Union is making me
You're sexy, European Union, and I like you.
You are. You smell a little bit like B.O. and Body Splash, and I like how you don't wear an undershirt underneath your dress shirt. But that's kind of sexy in a guy. So, that was Hisses and Purrs. Boom.
Well, I'm glad that's over.
Yeah, me too. I really hate to say anything positive or negative, ever. I like all my comments to be neutral.
Well, let's move on, shall we?
Let's, please.
We should talk about some food, I guess.
I guess so. What do you have in mind?
Well, I actually, I don't want to, go into it too much. But I did go meet, do you remember Beth? The girl who took our first time vegan to Thanksgiving?
Yeah, absolutely.
She and I met up in real life recently because we'd never met.
Wait. Just so I'm sure. We're talking Beth, the girl that took Lori?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Beth.
I know. She's so sweet. Anyway, she and I had never met in real life, so we met up for brunch.
Yeah.
And she suggested that we go to this place called St. Francis Fountain, and she was like, I've never been there. So it's not a vegan place. And when I looked online, I was like, oh, it's not a vegan place, but they have a lot of vegan options. And it's not like the kind of place where there's one vegan option. There's a vegan option or two vegan options in every category on the menu. It's pretty dope.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's very cute, very charming. It feels like a really sort of old-fashioned diner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Almost like 60s or 50s. And the waiters are, they're delicious. The waiters are just delicious. It's all these boys running around. Very cute.
I had this theory. There was a place, this is as non-vegan as it gets, but there was a place in Wisconsin when I grew up called Kopp's, It was a frozen custard place. There was also, let's see, Gillis's. Everyone there pronounces it Gillies, but it's actually Gillis's. What was the other one? I can't believe I can't remember all of them, but like Culver's and Cops and Gillies and all these places where people would go for custard, which is like basically ice cream but with egg added into it and frozen. It's like this really thick ice cream. And all of these places, anytime I went to one of them, they always had, like, there was always the hot guy behind the counter. And it's because it's these sort of 1950s, 60s style restaurants. Whenever you go to like a 50s, 60s themed place, the help is real pretty.
Yeah, I feel that way about Lula's Sweet Apothecary.
Yeah. Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like there's always some
yeah.
cute boy making my sundae.
I think that's more a pheromone excreted by the cashew ice cream in the air.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so I had like a tofu rancheros kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And I thought it was terrific. It was great. And then I also had pancakes. And those were also very good. And, yeah. I mean, I think it's a terrific option. Very charming place. Perfect place to take a mixed group. And, no, I was impressed. I liked it. I would go again, definitely.
Yeah.
So, check it out. Especially if you like cute boys and milkshakes.
Yeah. My milkshake brings out the boys to the yard. You know, I still have a sound clip of you saying that, and I've never found a way to use it in the episode.
I said that's at one point in time?
I think it went a little something like...
My milkshake brings out the boys to the yard. My milkshake brings out the boys to the yard. Oh, that's mortifying. My milkshake brings out the boys to the yard. Oh, my God.
Anyway, so where do we leave off? We left off with your food thingy. Yeah, so my food thingy...
Big fat vegan food. Give it a proper name.
My big fat vegan food. I'm actually going to go rogue here. There is a new restaurant that just opened across the street from my apartment. I live at 106th
God, you're totally going
Amsterdam.
rogue. You guys, he's totally off script. I don't even know what's happening.
I'm off script. I'm not even going with what we planned. So there is a restaurant across the street from me. It basically, in that location, used to be a thrift store. And then that closed down. And it opened up as this new restaurant called The Neighborhood, which, first off, I didn't like the name. I'm like, you don't just open up shop and call yourself The Neighborhood. You ain't my neighborhood. You ain't my neighborhood. You don't know the neighborhood. You're new here, okay? Why don't you call yourself the new kid in town? Anyway, sure enough, they closed, probably because of my bad attitude towards them. But
Sounds
now...
like it.
There's a new place opening up, and it's called the Ellington. Now, 106th Street is also called Duke Ellington Boulevard. So it's called the Ellington.
Cool.
Yeah, cool, right? And it looks like, the Ellington, very low lights and jazzy. And it's kind of like an Upper West Side kind of a jazz place named after a jazz musician.
They're playing
And
jazz.
They have like jazz brunches and stuff, I think. So like, I really want to support these places. So I looked them up on, before they had a website. I still don't know if they have a website. Yes, they do now have a website. So I went to the website and I went to their Facebook page. On their Facebook page, they beat me to it. I was going to the Facebook page to say, oh, awesome. Well, you live across the street from a couple of vegans. There's a lot of vegans in the area, blah, blah, blah. And I went to their Facebook page and they even said, hey guys, we're opening up. So tell us, what do you want to see on the menu? And
Nice.
I was like, hey, vegan options. It's really easy just to add vegan pancakes to your menu. Just boom, boom, boom. This is all you do. And bam, vegan pancakes. And I had a bunch of my vegan friends. I had at least 4 or 5 people. When I say at least, I actually mean I think it was no more than 4 or 5. So I had at most 4 or 5 people, but no less than 4.
I think it was 4 or 5 people.
I had 4 or 5. It was one of those two numbers, okay? But at least 4 and at most 5. Contact them through the Facebook page and say, hey, look, we would love some vegan options. We live in the area. We'd love to come there if there's some vegan options. And I don't know if they think vegan options means, oh, well, I don't know. Do you have a garden in the back? Do you do your own sprouting? Do you have a solarium up on the roof? Because if not, you can't be vegan. I don't know what they're thinking vegan entails, but I'm like, dude, give me a pasta with marinara and some black olives. I mean, I'm not talking high-end vegan cuisine, but cater to the vegans. Well, they wrote back to me on the thing. They're like, yeah, we'll definitely have someone get in touch with you about, and I said, look, you live across the street from a vegan cook with a vegan cooking show, okay? You live across the street from several vegans. We would love to come and give you our business, especially since we recently had a vegan place close in the area. So they said they would get in touch with me. They said that on the public part of the website, but in private, they never got in touch with me. And so finally, a few weeks ago, I finally just stopped in long after they opened. And I was like, hey, so any vegan options on the menu? And he's like, sure. Well, we could. Oh, no, that's not. Oh, well, we could do. Oh, no. Yeah. I know. And then there's like, there's a veggie burger. Yay, there's a veggie burger. Secretly, it's all I want. Does a veggie burger have any dairy or eggs? Oh, I don't know. Let me find out. First off, make it your business to know these things. I mean.
Oh, my God, I know.
Like I said to the shoe store today, like not to talk down to anyone, but if shoes were my business, I would make it my business to know shoes inside and out. I would make it my business to know my business so well. And when
Are you talking to a waiter?
No, I would never talk to a waiter that way. But I asked the waiter if the veggie burger was vegan. And like what bothers me is, first off, someone from out in the back yelped, "Oh yeah, it's vegan." And I'm like, no. By vegan, I don't mean, is it real good? I don't mean like, should I get it? I don't mean, does it look good on me? Does it make my butt look fat? Don't just say, yeah, it's vegan when you don't know what the hell I'm asking you. And someone was like, yeah, it's vegan. And then he finally came back from the kitchen. He's like, yeah, it's not vegan. I'm so sorry. And just today, which is a few weeks since the last incident, I stopped in once again and just asked the only person there was the bartender, and I asked her, and without even picking up the menu or even thinking about it, she was just like, yeah. She did that look of grimacing pain on her face, like, oh yeah, sorry, no, nothing vegan. Without even thinking, like, wait a minute, well, we have this, we could, I guess, take this off and give you just the pasta with whatever and blah, blah, blah. But like, this place acted like they cared about what their neighbors wanted. Like, dude, guys, I've been here longer than you have. Let me just give you a hint. The place is going to close. Everything that opens there closes. If you're interested in staying open, kind of like Big Fat Vegan Radio announced some membership with some incentives and some stuff. But we're told our listeners, hey, if that's not what you want, let us know. We want to give you the value that you want. We want to give you something that you'll value, so you'll come back for more. Dude, yes. Like, we're telling you what we want, and you're like, thanks so much, and doing nothing about it. So, people, the name of the restaurant is The Ellington Bar and Kitchen. Their phone number is 212...
Did you just use the Big Fat Vegan Food segment to bash somebody?
Yeah. No, not to bash. See where I'm going with this. The Ellington Bar and Kitchen. Their phone number, 212-222-4050. Or theellingtonny.com, or you can, I guess, email them. Well, there's no email address, but if you go to their website, there's a contact us form. And they have a Facebook page where your comments to them will be nice and public. But if you're listening to this, pause this episode, drop them a line and be like, what gives? What gives? Just say you're a vegan on the Upper West Side, okay? Say, I'm a vegan on the Upper West Side. I was stoked about you guys opening. You gave lip service to the idea that you might include some vegan options on your menu. You even were approached by people who are able to help you if you don't know what that means. And time and again, I go in there and I'm told, nope, no vegan options.
Ben,
yeah,
you've truly gone rogue with this segment.
I've really gone rogue. I was expecting you to say, Ben, I want you to edit all of that out, and I would concede if you told me you wanted me to.
No,
I really
it's
want
not
to
very
leave
happy,
it in. You know
and
what?
I do like to keep our show on the happy side.
Oh, I got some happy for you. I just needed to get that out of the way. As you all know, I bought a Vitamix.
Oh, so you're doing both? Okay.
I'm kind of doing both. I'll make it quick, though. I bought a Vitamix. My new breakfast... You know, I'm trying to do this bean and vegetable diet. Well, I've definitely been off of it for a few weeks, but I'm kind of trying to experiment in the kitchen while Laura laughs at me. See, now I can see you. You are in the same pose now that you were frozen in earlier, so I would avoid that pose. You might get stuck.
I like my screen being frozen because then I can be on my phone and you don't know about it.
Anyway,
I'm like a bad teenager.
I'm definitely trying this new diet where the majority, if not the entirety of my diet is basically legumes and veggies. And it sounds restrictive, but man, oh man, if you just get the Forks Over Knives cookbook and maybe make a modification here, substitute mushrooms for tofu or whatever, you can get real creative. In fact, I'm working on making a lentil loaf that I found in the Engine 2 diet cookbook. But the lentil loaf includes ketchup, which includes lots of sugar and stuff. So I'm going to make my own healthy ketchup using stevia. It won't be the
Chloe
world's...
has a recipe for homemade ketchup. It's really good. I love it.
I would love to see it, but as long as it doesn't have any brown sugar or stuff like that in it.
I think hers has agave in it.
Yeah. So I'll just use stevia. So I want to make my own ketchup to get around that. Now, some lentil loaf recipes have flour in them, which of course I would avoid flour, but chickpeas, well, that's a legume. I'm definitely eating beans on this diet. So take a bunch of dried chickpeas, put them in my dry Vitamix blender container, which just arrived. And bam, in like 30 seconds, I can turn chickpeas into chickpea flour. So I can use that flour in it. And lastly, one of the main ingredients in this lentil... Pretty exciting. One of the main ingredients in this lentil loaf, other than, of course, lentils, is rice. Rice, not a vegetable. Not okay on this particular diet. So never lose hope. I went to Google and I'm like, what can I use instead of rice? Cauliflower. You take
of course you can use cauliflower or parsnips.
Take cauliflower and you like chop it in smaller chunks and run it through a food processor with the grater intact, or just take it to a cheese grater, and bam, you can basically make your own veggie-based rice out of cauliflower.
Raw cauliflower.
Raw cauliflower, and then you basically cover it in the microwave, put it in a big bowl, and you just kind of like nuke it, not even adding any water. It has its own moisture in it. So you like microwave it, and that will kind of cook it and make it like ready to use, and then you just store it till you're ready to use it. But I've even thought of like baking it in the oven on a cookie sheet at a low temperature to sort of dehydrate it, and then try putting that in the Vitamix dry container to turn my cauliflower into cauliflower.
Heyo!
Heyo! It's only funny in the spelling, not when you hear it. But so I'm getting really creative with the Vitamix, and I will say this: I don't want to drive anyone out there into debt or to make unnecessary purchases if you can't afford them.
But it's a very good unnecessary purchase.
If you're going to purchase anything unnecessarily, I spent on the Vitamix what I was about to spend on a TV, and I'll tell you what, I get a lot more use out of this Vitamix. You know, I can watch the Golden Girls on a small screen easily. But my Vitamix, and people said on this bean and veg diet, what do you have for breakfast, for example? My new breakfast is about a cup of spinach, maybe a little more than that. Basically, it's like half of a bunch of spinach. I don't even chop things. I just, put the whole thing in there.
You don't have to with the Vitamix. You can put like a whole carrot in there.
I put half of a bunch of spinach. I put a carrot. I'll put maybe a tomato or two, red bell pepper, some parsley, a little salt, a little Bragg's liquid aminos. I'll even put like half a lime in there just to give it a little bit of lime juice. Not the whole lime, just I'll squeeze the lime juice into it. And I feel like I'm forgetting something major there. And a little hot sauce, and then several cubes of ice. It's what Vitamix calls it the Garden Fresh cocktail. Caldwell didn't like it because it tastes like ketchup, and I was like, I know, right? But
guys, it's a Mary.
It's what's that?
It's a Mary.
It's basically, I guess, like a Virgin Bloody Mary, but it's
like
green,
a Mary.
Of course. It's like a green Virgin Mary because there's spinach in it. But if you add about a half of a handle of vodka, it takes the green right out. No, I'm kidding. But this is my new breakfast, and here's one thing: if I get a spinach salad, and it contains spinach and tomatoes and bell peppers and carrots, let me tell you what I'm going to be in about 30 minutes after I eat that. I'm going to be gassy McGee. I will be gassy as a vegan mofo. But when I put it in the Vitamix and it's all blended up, and basically it's not a smoothie, don't call it a smoothie, it's a juice.
Oh yeah, because the Vitamix is more than smoothify.
Yes, it's beyond smoothies. When I drink it, I even stopped taking my anti-gas pill before drinking it just as an experiment. And sure enough, it does not give me gas. It does not make me need to go poopsies. It's just a delicious, delicious breakfast beverage. And I've since gotten a little creative with it. I started adding a little bit of chia seeds, a little bit of flax seeds. And as soon as the dry container arrived for my Vitamix, the first thing I did with it, I remember Marianne and Jasmine from our hen house on my cooking show, they told me even one mushroom a day in your diet can make such a huge difference. Well, I don't want to keep mushrooms on hand because after 2 or 3 days, they get a little skunky, they smell a little fishy, they go bad. I bought some dried shiitake mushrooms, put them in a dry Vitamix container, blended for 30 seconds. Boom. I now have in a jar in my freezer shiitake mushroom powder. And I add a tablespoon of mushroom powder to my smoothie. I don't know what's in there. Is it in there? Is it not in there? I don't know. I can't tell. All I can tell is I'm drinking a delicious smoothie. It's not a smoothie, a juice.
It's a Mary.
It's a Mary. I'm drinking
It's a breakfast Mary.
I am drinking breakfast Mary. So
I want one. It sounds so good.
I'm probably at this rate using my Vitamix just about every single day. There's so many awesome things I can make with it. And recently, while also trying to do this bean and veg diet, a friend of mine reminded me, it was Vito who mentioned it, pasta. I'm like, oh, right, I can make awesome marinara sauce, but I can't really eat pasta. So for like 20,
but
30
you could
bucks
use spaghetti
online,
squash or fettuccine noodles.
guess what I did? I went online and I bought a vegetable spiralizer or a spiral slicer.
Yeah.
I got a big zucchini, peeled it, ran it through the spiralizer. Boom. I have raw zucchini pasta.
Yeah.
It's like a bowl of pasta, but it's really zucchini. You don't get more al dente than raw zucchini. There is a bite to that. So it's
good though. It's good. It's really good. I think Dr. Furman has a recipe in Eat to Live for a lasagna where it's the same thing. You do the layers with like lasagne. You do the layers with zucchini and yellow squash instead of pasta noodles.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's really good.
That sounds... I mean, who cares what the noodles are made out of? All you want it for is like the crunchiness, right? Or the crunchiness or the chewiness.
Yeah, well, I mean... that's just one of the, it's like there's a few raw places that get really creative like that. I'm always really knocked out by all the stuff you can do.
Yeah. Yeah, so my Vitamix is really changing my life. And it's got me cooking dinner at home a lot more often lately. It's got me...
Yeah, I love mine too. And I have to say, I especially love it to make salad dressing because I'm a big make-your-own salad dressing person. I'm a big make-your-own salad person. Because I don't like salads in restaurants. I like them the way that I make them. And you can use your Vitamix to make all sorts of crazy dressings that are like oil-free and really healthful and really good. And it's awesome because you can put like a whole clove of garlic in there and it'll puree it. Like, I mean, I can't tell you how many times with like a standard blender, I like find a clove of garlic like floating in the mixture. After I've made it. So you do not have that problem with the Vitamix.
Not a bit. And it's also nice because when I'm finished, when I'm doing the dishes after the Vitamix, I basically have one thing to clean because I don't need to use a whole lot of kitchen utensils.
Yeah.
Maybe a knife or a grater. There's 3 kitchen utensils I don't even take out of my dish drying rack anymore because I leave them in there all the time. It's the grater. No. It's the peeler, so I can like peel a zucchini or peel a carrot. It's the juicer, like the lemon or lime juicer. And it's my knife. That's pretty much all I use anymore. And then I just throw stuff in the Vitamix. It's so easy. That reminds me, I still have left over an awesome almond butter satay sauce that I want to use the leftover of it to make like sesame noodles.
That sounds good.
Or not sesame noodles, like peanut noodles. You know what I mean.
I got you. I'm on the same page.
Yeah. I'm going to make that tonight after I go to the gym. Because I'm going to go to the gym at 2 a.m. Boom. Are you voguing? Are you voguing or you need to sneeze?
I'm so tired.
Okay. All right. So we have some awesome listener mail, don't we?
Yeah, we have a couple emails that I've been saving. So I'm sorry we didn't get to them sooner.
We love when we hear from you guys. And we love when y'all just go ahead and butt into an episode. That's what we want you to do. We don't want to just talk about our own stuff. You can call, bigfatveganradio.com is where you can find us. You can also call us at 315-VEGAN-01. That's 315-834-2601. You can email us at bigfatveganradio@gmail.com. Tweet us at BigFatVegans. You can find us on the YouTube. That's just youtube.com/BigFatVeganRadio. And you can find us on Facebook, just Big Fat Vegan Radio on Facebook. So first we've got an email from Kate. Laura, would you like to read that for us?
Yes. I just found your podcasts on iTunes and I love them. Thanks so much for the vegan information. I am currently transitioning to a completely vegan diet. I would love to hear some tips on vegan dishes geared toward a new vegan who runs half marathons and is very athletic. My biggest problem is finding enough nutrients to support my workout schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for writing, Kate.
Yeah, absolutely. I could kind of answer that because I don't know that I consider myself very athletic, but I'm definitely, trying to get in better shape. My roommate and I, Kitten with the Whip, we have a countdown to see who can get hotter by Gay Pride. And I'm smart enough to have a daily countdown
going. That was
going.
so gay. That was crazy.
It is 80 days till Pride, girl.
That was wildly gay.
Thank you. It gets wildly gayer. It is 80 days till Gay Pride. Every single morning in my morning pages, I update the day count. And I bought my wishful thinking underwear today. I went to a store in Hell's Kitchen, and I knew I was in the right place because when I walked into the underwear store, in the front display case, they sell poppers. They sell poppers in the display case. If you don't know what poppers are, don't worry about it. So I try to stay motivated and everything. And there's one guy that I definitely love to follow. I'm sure I've mentioned him before, but there's a raw vegan athlete by the name of Tim Van Orden. He is, I'm just going to make a note to myself here to put that in the show notes. His website is runningraw.com. Tim Van Orden is a raw vegan athlete, and he basically will tell you that so long as you are eating a produce-based diet, eating lots of fruits, vegetables. His website is not Running Raw. Abort. I guess that has been changed, but basically Running Raw, Tim Van Orden, you'll find him. It said, as long as you are getting enough calories, you're getting enough nutrients, you're getting enough protein. As long as you're getting enough calories and you're making most of your food choices raw, uncooked, organic, when possible, produce, you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I also have a suggestion. If you're an athletic runner, we've said before on the show that you can always check out the Vega products and their creator, Brendan Brazier, who has a great book called Thrive.
Yeah.
He's a major athlete. But also, I'm very fond of Rich Roll, who is also a mega athlete. And his book is called Finding Ultra. And he also has a podcast, which is called the Rich Roll Podcast. So he's specifically geared, his stuff is specifically geared toward being a vegan athlete. And he's also incredibly nice. And his story is really fascinating and really inspiring. So definitely recommend checking out his book and his podcast just for those exact kind of tips.
Yeah, I should really read the Thrive Diet at this point. That's a good resource. And what else you also might want to check out? I know that you might not, it might sound like it's not what you're into, but check out Vegan Bodybuilding. If nothing else, it's a really good online forum, community resource for vegan athletes out there. They also have a Facebook page, and I will regularly post on their Facebook page saying, guys, it's me again. I just need some encouragement. I need some support. I'm going back to the gym. It's when I go to the gym tonight, it'll be my third workout back in like almost 6 weeks of not going. And I'll just be like, I need encouragement. I need support. And then while I'm at the gym, I'll get a little Facebook message from someone like, hey, honey, hang in there, blah, blah, blah. It's just so awesome that when I have questions or concerns, I have other vegan athletes out there I can interact with. So definitely find your tribe, find your community. There's a lot. I mean, I'm not a vegan athlete. I can't say that I'm, qualify as such, but definitely reach out and find them. They're online and they're there to share
but also
information.
don't worry about it. Don't view it as like a problem, like being vegan is a problem if you're an athlete, because just the opposite is true. These people who really, thrive ultimately, just like the book, but these people who really are the best of the best, they got there through using a vegan diet, and they weren't even pursuing it for maybe the same reasons as you or me. They got there because they were trying to become this great athlete. And it turns out that's the way to do it. So it's the right thing to do. You don't need to, you don't need to worry like, oh, what if I'm doing something wrong? You're not. It really works. It'll help you succeed.
Yeah, indeed. So,
if that made sense, it was hilarious how much I gestured when I said that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's too bad they can't see that. They'll see it if they join. If they join at the $25 level, they will be able to see it when they join our Google Hangouts. They will just see how animated we truly are.
They can see how much I gesture. They'll have to get me riled up. You guys are gonna have to get me riled up in the Hangout.
Just tell her, Laura, I'm right here.
So our next email is from Alex. And if you guys, Alex is the brain injured vegan, and she has a really interesting story. You can check it out at thebraininjuredvegan.blogspot.ca. If you haven't heard of her story is really cool and really unique. So anyway, but she sent us this email, and I thought it was a great question. So.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, what an honor that I get to be the one to read her email, because I love you, Alex. You are really awesome. And I hear about her on all sorts of podcasts now as well.
Oh, yeah.
Email from Alex. I've been vegan for almost 2 years and 4 months. Love it. And I'm still not sure how to respond to a fellow vegan when said vegan maintains that products made from polyurethane are just as bad and even worse for the environment than leather. I don't even know how that's possible, since tanning leather is horrible for everyone involved. I wasn't sure where I could find information regarding these details. Even if it was or is worse than leather, I'm not going back to buying the skins of dead non-humans. Maybe you folks know, or know where to direct me to find reliable information. Merci.
Okay, sure, Alex. It's funny that for some reason only this time reading that email did I realize that you meant when other vegans give you a hard time. I originally thought that this question meant just people in general. However, my answer is not that much different than what it was going to be, which is I'm going to give you a very Colleen Patrick Gaudreau answer, I think, which is that they're diverting you from the real problem, and that's not a real question. It's like a bullshit question, although Colleen would never say bullshit. I think that the bottom line is a question like that is like testing you, trying to see how perfect you are or whatever.
How vegan honestly, are you?
It's stupid. So, I mean, really, my response to that, if somebody was going to ask me that, is I would say, well, I don't buy that. I don't buy that kind of stuff that you're talking about. I try to buy my bags from really ethical providers who use eco-friendly materials. I do. I make an effort to do it. I do. So, also, the other argument the other thing you can say is, vegans are not the only people buying polyurethane. They're not the only people using polyurethane. Polyurethane's a larger problem. It's not exclusive to vegans and their handbags. So, you can just say, yeah, I really agree with you. That's what I would say. I'd say, I really agree with you. And I really try to avoid buying those products myself. I try to buy eco-friendly stuff and different companies that I like. And, if you're looking for companies like that, there's a million of them featured on Vegan Cuts. There's always great eco-friendly handbags, and there's a lot of companies out there, great companies that make bags and shoes, and they're on the eco side of things. They're not making everything from polyurethane. Of course, you can also shop at Payless. You can also get a great vegan belt and vegan shoes at Payless, but that's when you get into that polyurethane area, which is what people are talking about. But ultimately, I would just say, oh, yeah, I agree with you, and I don't try to buy that stuff, and I try not to buy that stuff. But, frankly, I think it's a really stupid question.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to trip you up. So, although it's funny to me now that I hear that it's coming from another vegan, right?
Is that a stupid question? Not a stupid question from Alex. It's a stupid comment from your friend.
Is it? Why are vegans so hard on each other, right? Drives me crazy.
You know what? What I think it is this said vegan friend of hers is just really enthusiastic. They love veganism, they love animals, and they're just
nice.
They're just letting it get the best of them, you know? I mean, we can be so idealistic sometimes that we want to take on all problems at all times with one solution. Like, we want kale to be the answer to everything. And you know what? Like, I don't know how to make my clothing out of kale. So, you know,
Sure, like no vegan would ever get cancer, that kind of a thing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I'll admit that's even hard for me. You know, even when we found out about Bud Burdick's leukemia, you know, there was a huge part of me that was like, but we can't get cancer. We're vegan. You know, it's just not a perfect world. The answer is to try to do the best we can. And you know what? Sure, I don't know the details on polyurethane. I mean, you're bringing this to my attention. I believe I've heard it before. But it's not something that I'm contributing. It's not something that's keeping me awake at nights, because I don't think that my use of polyurethane, my consumption of polyurethane products, is contributing to a huge hole in the ozone. I don't.
Exactly.
I definitely don't buy products made from polyurethane 3 times a day plus a snack. You know what I mean? Like, me making a change to my diet and just being vegan is definitely offsetting a lot of the other things I might be doing that are bad for the environment. So that's a huge help to begin with. I feel like anything I do beyond being a dietary vegan is just so much vegan gravy. I'm not saying that, you know, I couldn't do better than I'm doing, but like, look, when I can do better, I will. I've been vegan almost 3.5 years now, and I am only now starting to actually look at it from a health point of view. You know, I'm only now starting to like try to clean up my diet, try to be a little better. And even that's not an easy process. I'll probably be wrestling with that for a couple of years, but you know what? I mean, it just sounds like one more thing to beat ourselves up over. You know what? You don't have to consume products made with polyurethane. There you go. Boom. You don't have to. But honestly, like, for me, I'm not vegan for the environment. I know that's going to sound awful, but like, that's not my motivation. If I had to choose between do something that's a little harmful to the environment or throw a couple thousand living beings under the bus and see them suffer, I don't feel like I have that right.
Yeah.
So, you know, which is the greater evil? I don't know. I mean, I trust it to you, Alex, to make your decisions and to follow your heart. And, you know, just let your friend know, like, hey, you know what? Can you trust that I trust my heart? Can you trust that I trust my intuition, you know, that I'm making the decisions that I think are best for me? And thank you for this information. You know, it's like the palm oil information. I've had a lot of friends talk to me about palm oil.
Oh my God, I know. The palm oil argument's endless. We should probably do a whole episode on palm oil.
You know what? We might. But I mean, in Ed Coffin's Eating Consciously podcast, he interviewed the vice president of Earth Balance. And I mean, the fact that the vice president of, well, now we're on a tangent, but the fact that the vice president of Earth Balance was willing to come on the show and talk to an audience of vegans about these very things, as Colleen said on her podcast, I believe him.
Yeah, I trust Earth Balance, yeah.
When Ed interviewed me and Michael Herron and Colleen Patrick Goudreau all together, I won't lie, it was pretty awesome. But like, she said the same thing. She's like, look, I believe them. You know, they're answering these questions. They're not hiding from it. They're showing up. They're trying to do the best they can, and I believe them that they are.
I remember it was great because she said, I trust them more than I trust other companies. I think they've earned my trust more than other companies. And she's right. I agree with her on that.
But I mean, you know, yeah, is palm oil still a problem? Yeah, it's terrible, you know, and if I watch a video about palm oil and rainforest destruction and everything, I'm devastated and I don't want to contribute to that. And the next time I'm holding a package of Oreos in my hands, I'm thinking, well, do I want these Oreos more than I want to see these orangutans have some safety and have, you know, have some freedom? You know, but I mean, over time. Oh, and Laura off camera is pointing to her Oreos here.
Why did you tell everyone?
Well, I guess you were trying to do that in secret. But here, I mean, and yeah, I eat Oreos too. But the thing is, I don't know that I'm just gonna up and ditch Oreos or up and ditch palm oil overnight. Much like I didn't up and go vegan overnight.
Yeah.
But thank you all for the information. I'm going to mull this over and see if I can find a way to plug this into my life in a way that is sustainable, in a way that will be lasting, in a way that won't be a New Year's resolution that I stick to for a week and a half and then never try again because, oh, I tried that once. It was too hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's a great point with the polyurethane also, because you can do the same thing. You can be like, oh, well, let me realize which of my bags and which of my shoes do contribute to this problem that I don't care for, and let me see how I can find a new product. And you don't have to throw all your stuff away overnight. It's the same thing when you go vegan. It's like, don't throw away everything overnight. You just work it into your life.
And let's not forget, polyurethane is delicious. Delicious. And 0 calories.
Oh my God, you're so funny. All right. Well, I hope that's a good answer for you, Alex. It's such a great, great question.
And if you put it in a Vitamix, it's practically juice.
Ben's still drinking polyurethane.
I'm sure there's fiber in it.
Everyone, we love you. We want us to, find us on Twitter and Instagram. I'm Laura Yaz, and Ben is Honey LeBronx.
Yeah, and we're trying to Instagram and Twitter a little bit more, so you can follow us there.
We are. Also, you can donate your account.
Oh, yes, thank you. This is a wonderful new way that you guys can support our work. If you go to donateyouraccount.com/bigfatvegans, basically it's a way that you can sign up to automatically, whatever we post on our Big Fat Vegan Radio Facebook page, you will automatically repost it once per day, once per week, once per month. That's up to you, the frequency. But it's basically a way to repost and retweet us automatically. You don't even have to remember to do it. So basically, that's a great way to help us out. Go to donateyouraccount.com /
It's a great free way to help us out.
A great free way. I know a lot of you have been so apologetic. Not that you need to be. Please don't apologize if you can't give to the show. But this is an awesome free way to help us out. It really helps expand our reach, find new audiences. We do a lot to get the word out ourselves. But if you donate your Twitter and your Facebook, it will really help multiply the number of people who will start seeing our message and finding us.
Yes, it's great. It's just it's like what do they call that? Slack. It's like whatever. It's like the slacker way to help. You don't have to do anything. Literally nothing.
Sure.
It all does it for you.
Yeah. If you go to that website and it will take you, you click.
It's like a button. You click a button.
Donate.
I did it.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
You click two buttons. It might need you to log in to Facebook or log into Twitter, but boom, that's it. That's all she wrote.
Yeah, if you're on your home computer, you're already logged in. It's like does it automatically for you. But yeah, it's just,
basically,
what is it? Just donate your account.com / Big Fat Vegans. Go there. Do it, people.
Yeah.
Need you. Thanks.
Check it out. Thank you for that. And thank you to all of you who have already done that. We really appreciate the help.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So, you can also check out, if you haven't already, check out Laura's YouTube page, youtube.com / LARAYAZ. Definitely check out her really funny 3 minutes about a movie. Laura, do you have any more of those coming up anytime soon? Are you thinking of
I gotta go to a movie.
Doing any new movies?
I gotta go to the movies.
Awesome.
I haven't been to the movies. I gotta see something. I'll go soon.
Awesome. So go ahead and just subscribe so that when she does a new one, you'll just automatically get an email about it.
And tell me what movies you want me to review. I love it when people do that.
Absolutely. Boom. Will you consider, if someone asks you to review a movie that's like on DVD or Netflix, would you do that as well?
Yeah, I guess I would.
Awesome. So write in and let her know if there's something you want to watch.
Yeah, that'd be a new thing, but why not, right?
Nice.
You would watch that, right?
Oh, heck yeah.
All right, cool. So you do the same thing for Ben, or Honey, his better half. You can check out the Honey LeBronx Vegan Drag Queen Cooking Show at vegandragqueen.com. And I was wondering, what's the medieval oil tip of the day?
Medieval oil tip of the day. I'm not sure if I've used this one recently. Whatever. If I've used it already, I'm going to use it again because I feel a little bit of a cold coming on. I know I've already told you can put a few drops, 8 or 12 drops of medieval oil in a boiling cup of water and inhale it. But so as
8 or 12, yeesh. I do like 4.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's strong stuff.
It's very strong, you guys.
I like it strong. But to keep the apartment, to keep the sick out of the air, if I'll put like maybe 20, 30 drops of that in a pot of water on the stove, and I'll just leave that simmering all day. And first off, your whole apartment or home is going to smell like Christmas. But it puts all that stuff into the air. It contains eucalyptus oil, which kills airborne bacteria. So basically, you're dispersing eucalyptus, among other things like cinnamon and clove, into the air, and you're killing airborne bacteria. So basically, while your roommate is there coughing up a storm and putting all that bacteria into the air, you are helping to keep the air clean so that you don't get sick. So medieval oil.
Another thing I did once with the medieval oil is I put it in the water tank of the humidifier.
Interesting. I don't know that you should do that necessarily, because the humidifiers, a lot of them will say to be careful not to add oils to the water. Well, first off, because they can kind of mess up the inner workings of it. Also, medieval oil contains cinnamon oil, and cinnamon oil can melt certain plastics. So you want to be careful with it. If I put it in in like a bottled water and add my water to it, it doesn't affect that kind of plastic. But I once put a few drops of the medieval oil into my Brita filter, like the top part of the filter, to clean it out. And it melted like right before my eyes. The plastic started turning yellow and it got soft, and I could like dig the plastic out with my fingernail.
Oh, wow.
I don't know which but if you think that it does that to plastic, think what it's doing to a zit on your chin. How it's going to bust that shit apart. Oh,
wow, that's interesting. Well, I'll just say that my experience was good.
I'm sure it was pleasant.
When I put it in the tank, it was fine. I didn't have any problems.
Yeah. Well,
I felt like it was good. I felt like it cleaned out the air. But that he has a good point. Maybe just put it in a pot on the stove instead.
I still wouldn't recommend doing that, just because that it could be very damaging to your humidifier
smart recommendation.
over time. Yeah, but there are plenty of ways to disperse it into the air. Get a hot oil diffuser, or even just clip a napkin. I have a napkin clipped to my fan, and if I want to put that stuff in the air, I'll just pour maybe 8 or 10 drops on a napkin, turn the fan on, and within about 10 seconds, the whole air in my room is filled with the scent of medieval oil.
Fascinating.
So we would love to give a shout out to some of our friends. Of course, the illustrious Michael Heron. You can check out his work at michaelheron.com. I must say, if you are in the New York City area, you are lucky enough to be able to come check out Michael Heron. He has an upcoming show we might as well plug.
All right, guys. So Michael Heron's show is going to be in New York City at Magic Time on Wednesday, April 17th. I hate that this is military time. Oh my God, how am I supposed to know what time that is?
We'll just take 12 off of it.
8 p.m.
At 8 p.m. So it says 20 o'clock, right?
It's all going to be all original works of his, and it's very exciting stuff. And if you go to michaelheron.com, he's been blogging and vlogging about the process of writing it. And I think there's going to be a lot of stuff there. A lot of stuff. Yep. It's going to be a very exciting show. He's even going to have so go if you can.
He's even going to have our friends Rena Deitch and Cynthia King are going to be tabling with him. So he's going to be using this opportunity to have like a big vegan table where people can take away literature and maybe even some snacks. So he's also using this as a wonderful opportunity for outreach. So definitely check him out. If nothing else, just give him a little shout out on his website and be like, "Yay, I can't be there, but yay, you're awesome." And also a shout out to our friend Kelly Huffine, who did our wonderful cartoon and logo for the website. You can check out her work at kelly42fox.deviantart.com. We also have a really exciting musical guest for you today. We have Vegan Smythe for you. Is that how they pronounce it? Vegan Smythe?
Mm-hmm. That's how he pronounces it. He's very funny, you guys. He's a very funny guy.
Yeah, so he's got a lot of awesome songs about veganism, and this one is called WTF Do You Eat?
My kind of song.
Amen. So,
all right.
Oh, I have one last shout out.
What a shock.
Our friend Kristen Lajeunesse from Will Travel for Vegan Food. This is the girl who basically traveled the country, eating at every single vegan restaurant in the country.
WTF Vegan Food.
WTFveganfood.com. And after doing this whole world tour, she now has a book deal. So I don't know what the book is going to be. I'm very excited. I'm really looking forward to having more details about that. Maybe we'll have her on the show at some point.
Okay.
But yeah, very, very excited for Kristen LaJeunesse and her book.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
I should say she also has a new music video up, parody that she did. And I'm not in it, but I am off screen holding Strummer.
Really? Oh,
yes.
How cute.
Yeah.
How cute. I want to check that out. Yeah, you can also find her on Facebook at Will Travel for Vegan Food is her fan page. And yeah, she said, it's official. I got a book deal this summer. I'm going to be writing my first ever book about the past 18 months on the road. And I still cannot believe it. So, yeah. Yay. Excited for her. Oh, wait a minute. We forgot to talk about our ongoing fundraiser. As everyone knows, this is the month of April 2013. Not if you're listening to it a million years later. And we are currently doing one of our Big Fat Vegan Radio fundraisers. So that is still ongoing for the month of April. So you still have plenty of time to go to bigfatveganradio.com. On the top right of our website, you'll notice the big yellow golden donate button. Any size donation to our show, whether it's $1, whether it's $10, whether it's $100, for any size donation, you will get access to some awesome discount codes. We have discount codes right now for Sweet and Sarah, the vegan marshmallow company. We have discounts for Pangea. Pangea is like an all-purpose online vegan store where you can get anything you need. Pangea has it. Anything. And you can also get discount codes for Compassion Co., which is like an online awesome clothing company, very fashionable, awesome stuff, all compassionately made and ecologically sound. So check that out. Go to our website, bigfatveganradio.com/support. And there you will find the links for donate your account. You will also find a link for a one-time donation, which of course qualifies you for access to our discount codes, which are good through the month of April. And which really, no matter what you spend on the one-time donation, you'll really get your money's worth out of it. And also, we've created memberships now. So you can become a member for $5 a month, $10 a month, $25 a month, and up. And check out some of the awesome perks that we have listed there. It clearly states what you get for each level of membership. Either access to our new secret episodes, access to our special movie night, and even our video hangouts. So check that out at bigfatveganradio.com/support. So that's all we've got for today for Big Fat Vegan Radio. Please subscribe through iTunes, or that sounded desperate, didn't it? Please subscribe to us through iTunes or your podcatcher of choice. It's extra helpful. Whoever you use to download us or subscribe, it's extra helpful if you can still go to the iTunes music store and give us an awesome rating and a glowing review. We thank all of you who've done that so far. We have a lot more subscribers than we do ratings and reviews. So some of you are like, yeah, I'll get to it. Like the palm oil thing. Do it!
All right, Ben, don't guilt trip
Please.
the listeners.
I thought that, well, it always worked for me. So if you do it, you will lose that last 5 pounds.
All right, well, everybody, just be sure to let us know what you thought of this episode on our Facebook page. Send us a tweet, leave us a voicemail, or you can leave us a comment at bigfatveganradio.com. We love to hear from you. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you, Laura.
Have a great day, everyone. Oh, and one more thing.
Oh, there's just one last thing. We have a secret that we wanted to share with you guys. You're going to be really excited. Yeah, come here. Lean. Turn up. If you're listening to this on headphones, turn up the volume and listen real close. So something we want you guys, all of you, if you could all just do one last thing for us, okay? This is a surprise for a friend. They don't know about this, all right? Go vegan. That was sufficiently creepy.
I met an old school friend. I've got Facebook to blame. It's so long since I saw his face or even thunk his name. And he told me he's a father now with 2 girls and a dog. I told him I'm a vegan now. He looked at me agog. dog. And he went all concerned. And he said, so you don't eat beef, huh? So you can't eat burgers or steak or good old Aussie meat pies? Bloody hell. And you don't eat chicken, huh? So you can't eat KFC or cheesy chicken parma or basted chicken thighs? Bloody hell. And you don't eat fish, huh? Huh? So you can't eat canned sardines and sushi rolls and lemongrass cod stir fries? Bloody hell. So what do you eat? What the fuck do you eat? Do you eat meat and 3 veg without meat, huh? Or fish and chips without fish, huh? Bacon and egg without bacon, or egg. Mum's famous roasted leg of lamb with no leg. Milky bars without milk. Creme caramel without cream. No mac and cheese, please, I only eat mac. And no cheesy doodles for my mid-morning snack. No beef stroganoff, only stroganoff. No lemon chicken, just lemon. No cherry ice cream, just cherries and ice. No vindaloo beef, just spice. Bangers and mash without bangers. Shepherd's pie without shepherds. You won't eat duck, you'll just take Peking. No buffaloes are slaughtered for your buffalo wing. You're drastic, bombastic, you're really alarming. And not to even mention, mate, you must be starving. You're making me feel hungry. What do you eat? Bloody hell.
Hello?
There you are. No, I did hear her meowing.
Oh, good.
Why am I full screening you? I don't need a full screen of your window. Here we go. There we go. Beautiful.
Can you full screen that? Whoa, I just full screened you.
That's a lot of me, isn't it? Oh,
I feel like I'm in your bedroom.
Titties, 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 titties.
I just took you out of full screen real quick, buddy.
I am a little juggy, aren't I? I kind of got boobages. I'm working out
Are we
again.
really going to have this contest right now? Because I win.
Yeah, you crushing beer cans on the Donahue show.
Are you my boobs have a time zone.
Did you have a private moment with the audience?
I did. It was a little awkward.
All right. As they should be, my God. Oh, girl, I have some news for you.
What is it?
I was going to make this very, very public. In fact, I'll just forward this to you. I'm not even going to tell you what any of this. I'm just going to forward you an email that I'm just going to forward you a quick email that I sent to NY class and that I got back from NY class. Is your email up right now?
Not on my computer. I'll open it right now.
Oh, you can do this on your phone too. On your sweet new phone. This will take you all of a second. You do want to read this before we start. It won't take you very long, and you'll be glad that you saw it. Okay, start by reading my. Don't read that.
How can I not read
my
it? It's
email
at the top
first.
of the email.
Read my email first.
I can't even read your email now.
Wait, we have to read this on the air. We have to read this on the air.
Okay,
Wait, you
but
know
I
what?
get to read. I get to read the response. Please.
You get to read the response. Okay, this is gonna be our little outro thing after the song. So here's the setup. So NY class.
I didn't know they had a campaign against Christine Quinn.
Yeah. Long story short, basically, you know how Steve Nislik was trying to save face with Christine Quinn.
Yeah.
And how they don't want to say anything against her because he doesn't want to have his interests hurt. Well, it got leaked. A sound clip of Steve Nislik saying something about like, oh yeah, Quinn's corrupt. She has to be greased in order to get what you want from her, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it was he said about her, it got out. She heard it, and now she's coming after him. So as an act of self-preservation, NY Class is now very anti-Quinn because why? It's in Steve Nislick's best interest to make sure she doesn't become mayor, because if she does, he can kiss any of his interests goodbye, you know?
All of them now.
Yeah, and if you've read any of the recent articles about Christine Quinn, that's how she works. This one woman forgot to properly thank Christine Quinn in some, like, speech that she delivered. And Christine Quinn retaliated by cutting funding for certain programs for, like, senior housing
I know. I read that. Yeah.
in her district. So, I mean, yeah. So that's why they're going after Quinn. But the point is, they're going after Quinn. And so for right now, me and NY Class kind of have a common goal, or at least a common enemy. So they came out with this Bullies for Quinn campaign, which is really clever. Like, Biff, what's-his-face, and Back to the Future, like, looking menacingly at the guy while holding a sign that says, like, Christine Quinn. And then all three of the girls all wearing pink from Mean Girls. They're all standing around holding Christine Quinn signs. And underneath it says Bullies for Quinn. It's pretty brilliant. So I just decided, hey, you know what? Praise where praise is due.
I mean, you like saw their campaign, you liked it, and you just dropped her a note. It's pretty funny that this is the response.
And hey, to be honest, I mean, and I wasn't being catty, I wasn't being bitchy, I wasn't being political and trying to play the game. I just thought, you know what? She deserves an email from me. So, Laura is going to read the response that I got an hour and a half later from...
Ben's going to be Ben, and I'm going to be...
Yeah, so I'm just going to be me, all right? So, email from Ben to at NY Class. Hey, Ben Strothman here. I know I'm not your favorite person in the world, but I wanted to say, all caps, great job on the anti-Quinn messaging. When we spoke at the NYC Veg Food Fest, I had asked how your group might plan to go after Quinn. While you and I definitely don't see eye to eye on the best way to fight for the horses, what I think is wonderful is that we both share a common goal in getting Christine Quinn out of the way. Had I known you guys were planning something like this, I would have jumped at the idea of helping you guys spread the message. Though I'm sure you have more than enough help already, please let me know if I can help spread the word about your Bullies for Quinn campaign. Many thanks, Ben.
Dear Ben / Donnie Moss, go fuck yourselves. Fondly,